Hello everyone. I have an Easter tree craft that I'm making. My husband went out and got the branches from the backyard. And I'm adding the twisted paper leaves behind some flowers. So these are the flowers that I chose. And this is the twisted paper that I got from the thrift shop. And I wanted to show you how I'm doing everything. Some of it and just playing by ear. I want to put that around the neck of the vase with a bow. And these are the paper mache eggs that I ordered off of Amazon. Aren't these designs so cute? I'm going to hang them from the tree like that once I get all the flowers and the leaves on it. And I'm thinking about stringing up these lollipops as well. I think it'd be real kind of cute. We'll just play it by ear and see how it all turns out. So let's begin by making some leaves. And this all we'll do by measuring out the length of twisted paper that I need. And of course, to save time, I went ahead and figured out what exact length I needed, because that took some time and effort to put that first leaf on the tree. So I'm doing approximately 10 inches, which may or may not be too big. We'll see. Much easier to cut ribbons down than it is to be disappointed by it being too short and not usable at all. So this paper ribbon I got from a thrift shop, as I've already stated, but I just wanted to share with you how fun it is to me to pay so much less for craft supplies when I find them at either a consignment store or a thrift shop. And so I found the white twisted paper and the green. And I also found a lavender color, but it didn't quite fit in with the scheme of things here. So I'm just going to use the green and the white. Some people call this paper raffia paper. Not sure that's the correct terminology. I think the packages usually say twisted paper. And I wanted to show you my boo-boo. The reason I'm wearing my Band-Aid is because my cat scratched me. And that's going to show up in a few of my videos because this scratch was pretty deep. It's going to take a while to heal. So if you see me with various videos wearing a Band-Aid, it's because I made that video around the time that my cat scratched me. But just so you know, while I'm unwrapping these raffia ribbons, I don't always make my videos near exactly to the time that I upload them. Sometimes I will make random videos and just not put them up and save them for another sunny day. And there is no real rhyme or reason to why I do that. I just think, nah, don't want to put that one up right now. I'd rather do this one. So my videos will be kind of out of order here and then, time-wise, or if you notice, sometimes my nails are different colors or different kinds, and that's because it's all kind of random sometimes. So, this twisted paper is something that I discovered years and years ago when I had my gift shop. I hired a woman to work for me behind the counter, and she worked quite a few hours in exchange for her being able to sell her crafts in my store. And she used to make just the most beautiful country crafts with this twisted paper. Her name was Penny. She was such a good, kind woman, and the people loved her. She taught me something about how to use twisted paper, and I have never forgotten it, although I never did get as good as she did with it. So let's take this wide piece of twisted paper and cut it in half, and then cut the edges off sort of dog-eared shaped in order to make it look like a leaf on the end. The first time I did my practice leaf, I used a very wide piece, and it was difficult to maneuver, so I decided to cut them in half, and I thought that they looked a little bit more realistic as far as leaves go. Leaves. And of course I am not going to be perfect about each shape of the end of a leaf either, because I have no clue what kind of leaf this is supposed to represent. And I am going to just twist it right onto the branch and tie it in a knot. This I do to avoid having to use glue or tape or wire. I am being super thrifty. And it's convenient. So watch this. Let's see. I'm going to take a poppy. This is a poppy flower. And I'm forfeiting the original leaves to the poppy flower, which is probably more realistic to it, and using just the flowers to decorate my Easter tree. Gotta tighten that up so it'll stay in place, and then stick the wires of this flower inside the hole of the knot, and it should stay together decently. I'm not anti-glue. I just tend to take the path of least resistance, and I don't want to wait for glue to dry. So this will be immediate effect, held in place by its own tight knot. So there we go. Let's do some more paper. And I'll tell you while I'm untwisting this paper, which is just incredibly tedious work, but actually very enjoyable because, and the reason why I'm making this video is I love the sound of this crinkly twisted paper. There's a certain amount of reward in undoing it and seeing the wrinkles, and it's something difficult to explain unless you try it. Same as, straightening out my crinkle notebook pages, just there's a certain amount of satisfaction in the sound and the feel of things going from wrinkled to straight. Although this paper will never be straight. So, what I wanted to share with you is that my husband had trimmed the branches in our yard before spring came. And they were all just laying there in the yard still. But he went and cut off some of the nicest looking branches off the end. And he tied it together with a twisty tie to make it resemble a tree. And that I held it in my glass vase while he poured sand into the glass vase. Notice the pattern between the poppy and the twisted paper. It's so much more similar to the flower itself than the real leaf from the poppy. Just had to throw that in there while I was pointing to it. You all know this is a voiceover, so I'm trying to keep up. So, anyway, he poured the sand in, and the sand held the branches firmly in place in the jar. So then, after those were secure, we wanted to make sure that the branches did not dry up too quickly. So we added water. And it was amazing how many cups of water can go into a jar of sand, because there is incredible amounts of space in between sand granules. So now my branches will be watered and stay fresher longer. That's all there is to say about that. But I thought it was very creative. It was as much my husband's idea to make an Easter, well, it was my idea to make an Easter tree, but he's the one who came up with the branches and put it together for me. My dear heart, he is just so behind me for everything I do. And actually, he's kind of an artist, very creative himself. So, I want to get on to making more leaves, so I'm not going to make you sit here with me for this entire process of just untwisting and cutting up paper. But we have a couple more to do before we switch gears here. Just cut this in half again. I can tell some of these are going to be a little too long. I only measured the first one. You saw that. And then I just estimated the rest of them based on the first piece, and that's a very imperfect way of measuring, but I am an impatient person about a lot of things, not everything. Also wanted to mention the Easter baskets that are on the table are all secondhand from the Goodwill. And there are more than these. I got 6 of them all together. I am going to make Easter baskets for all 6 of my grandchildren. I have 7 grandchildren, but the eldest is 20-something, and I don't think she's going to need that from me. But I have just the 3 of them sitting on the table here for now, holding the paper mache eggs and lollipops. And that is just prop because I thought they were so pretty. when I was in Goodwill, I had my basket just full of stuff, and one lady was overlooking my purchases, a stranger, and she says, "Well, look at you getting all the Easter baskets." And I was like, oops, is she insulting me? Because I'm taking all of them, but I didn't take all of them. There were lots there, but I got the best ones. I really did. And I thought, well, I can get inexpensive and used and very quality at the thrift shop, or I could go to the Dollar Tree and pay $1.25 for, cheap stuff. And I thought, let's pay $1 more for something that I like better and is a bit more quality and sturdy. So I really like the ones I got. I will be making a video showing you how I put together their Easter baskets as well. Going to be wrapping them in cellophane and everything, so I hope you'll stay tuned for that. After I put this video up, I thought the Easter tree should come first because I actually have just a little bit of time to do this and have it hanging around the house, for the enjoyment of the family, and especially for Avery, because my granddaughter that's living with me would appreciate it a lot more than the adults in my family. I don't think they could care less, actually. Just me and Avery kind of enjoying the whole idea of Easter decorations. Avery's been in school quite a bit, and after school she goes to a special program. I'm not watching her after school anymore. I found that I could not find the time to give our visits enough justice, and I found it difficult having so many hours with so much family in the house. So we still get a good deal of time together, but just not where I didn't really want her to be involved with this project, because 7-year-olds just don't have that much ability to pay attention for that long, and this is very tedious. But I'm not having her help with the Easter baskets either, because one of them is going to be for her, so some things must remain a secret. Okay, I believe this is going to be the last one that I will share with you in video of these leaves, because I want to get on to applying them to the tree, to the branches. And I'll give you a different perspective on that, a different view. Yeah, so we're almost done. Also, I wanted to say that I purposely picked out band-aids that I hoped would match my videos. It's like neon yellow is actually kind of appropriate here. It's my little Etta, my gray tabby, that just snagged my finger. Oh my gosh. She was being so feisty that day. And she doesn't like to play that often, so I grabbed the opportunity while I could. She made me sorry for it. It's like it hurts, owie. That really was just too unsightly to leave uncovered. Alright, let's put these aside. I want to do something else now. At least cut the ends off. I can do that. And I'll do the rest of the flattening of the twisted paper off camera. Here we go. Let's do this. Just starting with the lower branches because of the camera angle. And certainly we can't get through the application of all of the leaves on camera either. I'm gonna knock some of these flowers around even as I work. And then I'll just go behind myself and straighten. If you would try something like this on your own, I would definitely recommend glue or wires if it's easier for you, which it probably would be on some level. Just depends on what you prefer. But I like the idea of being able to take these apart and not ruining them. Perhaps even making another Easter tree next year. Who knows? I don't know if I have that kind of ambition. Every leaf end looks different, just slightly triangular. Thankfully, all of this stuff comes off pretty easily off the stem. Get that in there. It actually would be so much more sensible to use what do you call it? Is it grafting wire or flower wire? What do you call it? Floral tape? I don't know. But it would be more sensible. And just like I've kind of said this before in other videos, that I tend to just use what I've got, make do with what I have. And I had no wire. I thought, I can make this work. I can do it. I can figure out a way. And this is what I end up doing, inevitably. It's a brilliantly beautiful day out. So bright that even though I faced the window to try to create the feeling that I am enjoying, it's so bright you can't see outside. Oh well. Okay, slip that in there. Tie it in a knot. I guess the other good thing, if you had wire, you wouldn't waste as much paper with having to go around the branch once and tie a knot. So if I were to do it again, I'll keep an eye out at the thrift shops for some wire, green wire. The thing is that crafts like this, where I'm working with flowers, is actually really few and far between. Where I just would love to have crafts from floor to ceiling, I don't actually get to spend that much time making them. I have everything I need to make jewelry, but I don't have that much time for pastimes, if you will. Making videos has become my pastime, my passion. Ergo, I get to make crafts for videos. So I'm doing a lot of things, a lot of living that I do is coming across in my videos. But there is so much more living that I do off camera. Imagine trying to film your life. Oh my gosh. Every one of my family members would be shying away from me. They'd be going, "Get out of here with that camera. Get out of my face." And I wouldn't blame them. Lately, my family and I have been sitting down to watch the television series on, I think it's Netflix, called The Crown, telling all about the story of our present day Queen Elizabeth over in the UK. And just riveted. I am riveted. But we're spending so much time watching that. So if I was to film my life, you'd be sitting down watching The Crown with me quite a bit. Okay, I'm just fascinated by how the wrinkled poppy matches the wrinkled paper. And I've used these poppies in many of my videos. Probably even one of them that's coming after this. Like I said, my videos are not always in order. But no more, because they are being used for this one for good and all. That's filling in nicely, isn't it? Just love the look of it. See, some of these I'm finding are actually too long because my measuring was so casual. Okay, so I'm just discussing all these different things with you, aren't I? Where should the next leaf go? Alright, switched up my angle a little bit here so you could see better what I'm doing, although that's not the best angle, is it? My hand is in the way. But you can see the tree pretty good and how it's turning out. Spread that out. Each one just rather cuppy-like. And at first I wasn't going to use these buds, these pods. but I thought it would be more realistic actually if there were some unbloomed buds on the tree. Looking good, huh? Let's go ahead and put on our eggs. I think that I'll just try to evenly disperse them. There's 12 eggs altogether, I believe. And that's not actually as many as I would have liked to have on this tree. When I ordered these beautiful eggs off of Amazon, I wasn't sure I was going to make an Easter tree. I just wanted to have these beautiful eggs for something, and I didn't know what I was going to do. So if I were to do it again, I'd probably get more eggs for this tree. So pretty. Just love it. Orange and red are kind of strange colors for maybe not. Easter colors can be any color you want, actually. And they put all these cute little birds and bunnies. I believe it's just paper mache over styrofoam eggs. With, of course, a matching ribbon, and I just love them. They're pretty much as nice as I thought they'd be. Sometimes you just don't know what you're going to get from Amazon. Cute. I just love them. Assuming that this tree represents springtime, then we see that it has not completely blossomed out. But if I was more diligent, I would put more flowers and more leaves on the tree. But as I say, I'm just using what I've got, mostly what I've got. And there were no more flowers than that. Flowers and buds combined, I had 18. So we'll fill it in with the eggs and the lollipops. I love this color blue. So pretty. I'm becoming more of a fan of the color blue as time goes by. There's a bird. Look at the bird. Oh, he's being so noisy. But I love it. It's springtime, guys. It's really spring. And I'm just loving it. I've already spent some time out on the hammock in my backyard just listening to the birds. It's a cacophony of sound in my backyard right now. In Tennessee, the birds are, they chirp all year long. Doesn't matter what season. But in spring, it is definitely almost deafening, and it will probably be heard in every one of my videos. Unless I hide in my closet, which I can't always do. Alright, let's do some lollipops. I'm going to try to punch some holes in it. And I got some ribbon for the occasion. I'll show you. And this is something I already had, and of course I got it secondhand. I have bought so much ribbon secondhand. Okay, get that hole open. There we go. I think this ribbon's a nice match for the tree and all the other colors. Okay, I'm not going to put it on the tree yet. I'm just going to set it down somewhere. No, not there. Let's put it on the other side. There we go. I'm not wielding this hole puncher very well. Had some trouble with that one. Okay. Yeah, these lollipops are mostly just for decoration, although I've eaten one. They came from Valentine's Day and they were just still left over, so like I said, I just try to utilize everything, a little bit of everything that I've already got, and not just go out and just spend a bunch of money on some idea that I get. It's like, okay, you've already got the stuff, now come up with the idea. And that's how I tend to do things with my home decor as well. It's like, I'm out just buying something that I love and bring it home and try to bring it together. Okay, now we're going to see I've got more green lollipops. Only one pink, only one blue, and only one yellow, I believe. So we're just going to disperse them on the tree so you don't notice that I have mostly green lollipops. There's only 6 of them left over from Valentine's. This blue, so pretty. Lately I've just been appreciating all colors. Just, especially through the winter months, because this winter has been particularly long and cold and rough. And I imagine it's been similar to a lot of people across the U.S. that the weather has just been a little bit different this year. So, color right now has been more important to me than usual. Bright colors. Because most of my house is in fall colors, which can be jewel tones, but in a country motif it tends to be a little bit more muted. I mean, I will always appreciate the beautiful golden brown of my table, for instance, and the golden color of the vase that I'm using for my tree. And that's kind of the theme throughout my home, is golden colors, golden, green, and red, and browns. But when winter gets long, I love to look at these beautiful springtime colors. I can appreciate them so much more. And you get cause, to enjoy them because it's Easter. It's celebrating spring, but Easter is a celebration of the risen Christ and our salvation. So that is how Easter began to be celebrated, and I just love all the little trappings and trimmings that come along with it, like Easter bunnies and pretty spring pastel colors and egg hunts and all of that. When I was growing up, we always had an Easter egg hunt. And it was so much fun. But when we were young, it was just boiled eggs. It was not candy. So things have changed quite a bit. Alright, I think I'll try to put this green lollipop near a green egg. Does that work? I think it's close enough to it to make it look coordinated. Red one goes near the red egg. And let's see, this yellow one can go by the yellow egg. Maybe the one that's higher up rather than the lower one. Let me see. Maybe not there. Let's see. Turn it around. But it's near the green egg. Let me see. The yellow egg is up above this, so I think it'll be alright. I just don't want it on that lower branch. The green lollipops actually can go anywhere because the whole tree is just full of green twisted paper. So we'll just get them on here. And the other thing is to disperse them in such a way that it gives an even look all over the tree. Probably gonna move that yellow egg on the very bottom of the tree because it's too close to... Oh, it's just not even. That's all. I want to make it even. On to the ribbon now, guys. I want to make one big white twisted paper ribbon, and I'm measuring right now how big that bow is going to be. And I'm going to wrap it around the neck of the vase. So, 2 bows on either side and a center. And then tails. So that's about right. Now we'll just start untwisting this thing. Let's see how long this takes me. I won't make you sit through all of that. Just do as much as I can before I get tired of filming it. I think that if I was not doing this for a video, I'd probably move a little faster for things like this that are tedious, but you cannot go too fast because this paper is semi-fragile and it could rip. It certainly could rip. So you need to be somewhat gentle. And I do notice that this white paper, whatever brand this was, is slightly different than the green. Different companies make it differently. I believe you can still get this twisted paper at Michael's Craft Art Supply Store. Gosh, it's been so long since I've made a big paper ribbon. See, I was telling you that my about Penny, the gal that worked for me at my gift shop. She taught me how to make the ribbons, but it has been years and years since I made one, so we'll see if I can recall exactly how to do it. I have not done a practice run because I didn't want to waste the paper. I just kind of gave myself a mental rundown on how it's done. I made a lot of crafts right alongside my gal Penny to sell at my gift shop, and I just started kind of getting crazy with it too, not just the crafts or the twisted paper, but I also started sewing things here and there. For instance, I made, with my sewing machine, I found some spare lace and cloth, and I sewed what you call a, boy, I don't even know what it's called. It's like a little drop sack to hold an extra roll of toilet paper in your house, in your guest bathroom. And it was so pretty, and I put a little ring on the end of it so it could hang on the wall, so that when you have a guest and they ran out of paper, the extra roll would be hanging on the wall in a pretty lace holder. So I made that. I sewed a few like decorative lampshades, just different things here and there, and I thought, oh, this is kind of nice because I didn't have to pay for the product I was selling in the store, so it was pure profit. I thought that was kind of smart. And fun, of course. But I didn't do that for long because my store became so busy and popular, so I was had too much other stuff to do, trying to keep product in the store and decorated and redecorated and books and just, boy, just there's so much to running a gift shop. And I was suited to it at the time since I was younger, but I wouldn't dare attempt something like that again now, unless I had a team of people helping me with the work. Alright, we've got it all pretty much ready to go. One last little straighten up here. It needs to do a ribbon, you have to have your paper straightened out all the way to the end, to the edges. Okay, that's good enough. Take the end off of here because it's ripped, as you can probably see. Now, I just have to decide first how long my little tail is going to be. Then put my bow out, my first bow out on that side. this around. Here's my second loop of my bow. Third loop is a little smaller, shorter. Fourth loop, a little smaller and shorter than the one it's laying on. Then I make my last little center hoop here. And I went from the wrong direction, so I kind of put it through the hole. Should have folded it that way, because it's going to come over the back side of this. So there's my center. And I'm going to pull the last part of this down the back of it. Then I'm going to secure it all with a wire that I have got. This wire is probably wire I saved off of a package from the grocery store or something like that. I'm always saving stuff that I think I'll use again. So here we go. Now, that's decent. It's not the best I've ever done, but that's the idea. I want to cut the tails of my ribbon in a typical shape, or at least the one that I was taught by Penny years ago. Okay, that's long enough. Now let's see how difficult this is going to be to affix to this jar. I don't want to put it on just like this. I think I want to wrap the neck of the vase with some twisted paper first. And as I say, I want to avoid using glue or tape, so I'm going to use this pink ribbon to affix the white paper. Like I said, I'm not anti-glue. I'm just challenging myself to see if I can do this whole thing without glue or tape, so that everything may come apart without being ruined. Okay, so you will see the pink ribbon on the outside of it, and that's okay. I'm going to incorporate it into the look since it's already on the tree. So let's take that ribbon that I used to tie the paper on and affix the bow with it. Tie that on there. My fingers are fumbling here. Okay. There now. Tie it in a knot. And there is some white in the eggs that I have hanging on the tree, so I think it kind of ties in with everything. Alright, I'm going to pull down the ribbon a little bit to even it out some. I'll probably play with this a little bit off camera until I get it just like I like it. But here's a little straightening up right now. They keep wanting to curl up, so I'm going to have to like turn the edge up. See? Kind of give it a dent to make it stay. Alright, let's take one last look at the eggs on my tree and appreciate the beauty of this artwork. Lollipops, chickadee, lollipop, bunny rabbits, more bunny rabbits, bunnies. Most of them are bunnies, I believe. I think I have all of the eggs and the lollipops dispersed in an even manner here. Tell me in comments what you think about this craft idea. Is it something that you might try to do or would enjoy? Because I did enjoy this very, very much. And I hope you enjoyed the sounds of everything that I've done here. A little bit of crinkles, paper, there we go. I would say that we are done. One last look at the tree. It's kind of hard to see it with the rest of my house decor behind it, but hopefully this will give you an idea. Nice? I love it. Happy Easter to all of you.